Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Chemical Engineer. I am Sahil Yadav and in this video we will be studying about the types of evaporators. So in the previous video we have studied what is evaporation and we have also studied about the single effect and multi effect of in evaporators. So in this video we will study about the types of evaporators. So basically evaporators are divided into two types, that is type 1 and type 2. Type 1 includes long tube vertical evaporators. So long tube vertical evaporators means it is a tubular and shell type arrangement having the long tube, and these evaporators are vertical in nature, vertical evaporators. So they may be divided as upward flow, that is the flow of the liquid is from bottom to top. Then second is downward flow, that is the liquid is flowing from top to bottom. And third is the forced circulation type evaporator. Next in type 2 we have agitated film evaporator. So these all are being studied in this video. So please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. So let's start the video. Okay, so so before starting the main video you should have clear understanding of what is once through type evaporator and what is circulation type evaporator. So there are generally two types of evaporator, once through type and second is circulation evaporation. Okay, so these agitated type evaporators are once through evaporators. Okay, and what are once through evaporators? So once through evaporators are especially useful for heat sensitive material. They are generally operated at high pressure to keep the liquid temperature low. And once through evaporation means the column for the evaporation is a single column having one input, that is of the feed, one feed, and the vapor and liquid coming out in a single pass. So this type of evaporators are once through evaporators. Okay, so these evaporators are once through evaporators. Okay, next we have circulation evaporators. So this is your task to find what are circulation evaporators. So you have to find it and give answer in the comment section or as well as on Telegram discussion group. Okay, so this is your task to find what are circulation evaporators. Otherwise I will cover it in next video. Okay, so let us start with long tube evaporators, and the first one is with upward flow, that is the type A, what we have discussed in type 1. These type of evaporators are the circulation type evaporators. Okay sir, they follow the circulation evaporation system. So this is a typical schematic of those evaporators. So the parts that includes are these tubes, and this is a shell. Okay, so this is a tube and this is a shell. Then we have some vapor separation space from liquid. So this space is generally a vapor separation space, and yes, this is also the condenser or the vapor or the phase separator. Okay, so working of this type of evaporator is feed is passed through this phase separator. If feed has vapor, it will automatically reject the vapor. Now this liquid stream from the feed is passed through a evaporator. So in this evaporator, steam is in the shell side, while this liquid goes through the tubes and it goes to the upward direction. So these evaporators are upward flow type evaporators. So this liquid are sprinkled into the tube using a spray type arrangement. Okay, so this will form a film, and this film will pass through the tubes, and then it can be again recycled or taken out as a concentrate. Okay, so vapors are taken out and the concentrated is directly taken as in bottom, and the condensate of the steam is collected here. So this is how this type of evaporators work. So typical diameter of tube is 1 to 2 inches and the tube length of this column is 3 to 10 meters. Okay, so the application of this type of upward flow evaporators are in the evaporation of a concentration of the liquid that forms a foam. So foaming liquids are generally evaporated using upward flow type evaporators, vertical upward flow type evaporators. Okay, next, that is the opposite to the vertical upward flow type evaporator is the falling film evaporators. So this type of evaporators are generally used to concentrate high sensitive material, high heat sensitive material, and so those materials are generally evaporated which require less contact time with heat, that is with the steam. Okay, so in this type of evaporator, this is a schematic of it. So when feed is fed from the top, the feed passes through the tubes and steam through the shell. So this falling tube is generally evaporated of the liquid or liquid feed, and the concentrated is then separated using a phase separator, that is separating vapor and the liquid product, concentrate product. Okay, so the difference between the first and this one is, here we have the different arrangement of passing feed, that is we are passing from top to bottom, while in the previous case we are passing from bottom to top. So in this type of evaporator, we generally use the evaporation for the solvents or the feed which is requiring less contact time, or the short residence time is required. So typical tube diameter for this diameter is larger than that of the previous one. So here it is a 2 to 10 inches. So okay, so the problem between in this type of evaporator is we are unable to form a or distribute a liquid so that films cannot be created properly. So this is the problem in this type of evaporators. Okay, so spray nozzle is extra equipment that is used here along with tube sheet. Okay, so yes, so for good heat transfer, Reynolds number of the tube side is to be kept more than 2000, that is it should be a turbulent flow. Okay, and of course during evaporation from top to bottom, as the liquid goes from top to bottom, the amount of liquid decreases. Why it decreases? Because when it comes in contact with the steam, some amount of film or the liquid film tends to vaporize and evaporates. So the amount of vapor increases as we go to the bottom or through the evaporator tubes. Okay, and this okay, so in falling film evaporators, this vapor is not directly taken out, like there is no arrangement to take out vapor from here. So due to the pressure, this vapor also passes with the liquid to the bottom and then taken out in this separator. Okay, next is the forced circulation evaporators. So forced circulation evaporator, the schematic is simple. Only difference is here we use a centrifugal pump to create a forced convection. Okay, so when a feed goes into the pipe, it is passed through this centrifugal pump. Then we have the heat exchanger. This is actually a two shell, two tube type heat exchanger which is shown in schematic. So steam is generally used to heat this feed, and then this feed is then passed to a evaporator section. Okay, so only difference is this centrifugal pump. So in natural convection, the speed of a liquid in a tube is generally ranging from 0.3 to 1.2 meter per second, while when we use the forced convection, the speed of the liquid in the suction side is 2 to 5.5 meter per second. Hence why we are creating a forced convection. So forced convection is because to easily separate the vapor and liquid or the concentrate from the feed. So that is what the main aim of increasing the convection by centrifugal pump. Okay, the tubes are under static head to ensure that there is no boiling. So okay, so in heat exchanger there should not be boiling, so the pressure is to be maintained. The liquid becomes superheated as static heat is reduced during flow from heater to vapor space. Okay, and it flashes into a mixture of vapor and spray in the outlet line exchanger just before entering the evaporator. Okay, so this is what we have discussed. Okay, and yes, residence time is less. Why residence time is less? Because here we have a higher velocity, and in higher velocity we require less time to transfer of heat. So residence time of the liquid in tube is 1 to 3 seconds. Okay, in the previous types that is more than 10 seconds. Next, type B is what? The agitated film evaporators. So why we are doing the film evaporation of by using agitation? So agitation is generally used when we want to increase or enhance the overall heat transfer coefficient. Okay, so generally in evaporation, resistance to the heat transfer is in the liquid film side. Okay, so whenever you are asked that what is the resistance in evaporation, so you have to answer it, that is the liquid film side is what the resistance in the evaporator. So in order to reduce this resistance, we will use agitation, nothing more. As well as if the viscosity of liquid is very high, then also agitation will be helpful for increasing heat transfer. Hence, only difference between agitated versus the vertical tube type evaporator is agitation. Okay, so this schematic is almost similar to the first, that is the falling film type evaporator, but only difference is we have motor connected to the agitator. So this is agitator on the jacketed part. Okay, so jacketed and unjacketed. So jacketed means the part in which the steam is used to heat, and unjacketed part is the one in which we have no steam but we have agitation. Okay, so concentrate leave from the bottom of the jacketed system, and the vapor from the this part is unjacketed, and this part is jacketed part, that is steam is heating in the jacket, so steam jacket is present. Okay, so the advantages of this type of evaporator is high heat transfer rate, as well as these are used for high viscous fluid like rubber and latex. Only disadvantage is agitation. So agitation requires high cost of installation as well as for maintenance. So this is only a difference between agitated evaporators, agitated film evaporators. So thank you for watching the video. Now one question that I want to ask is why we are creating film for evaporation? Why can't we directly do such as what we do in heat exchangers? Why are we creating film in tubes? So this is what a question, you have to answer it. So thank you for watching the video. In next video we will be discussing about During's plot, and in the next to next video we will complete the evaporator section by seeing its calculation related to evaporators. Okay, So thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to us, Chemical Engineer, on YouTube, and our motto is one stop for all chemical engineering queries. So ask any query related to theory, numericals, and also subscribe us on Telegram channel. So thank you for watching the video.